want you guys to refer to me as Stanley, okay? Me and Stanley are one. I don't want to be called Agrinia. I don't want to be called Neil. I want to be called Stanley. Begin the game. Let's go.
This is the story of a man named Stanley.
Soothing voice.
Stanley worked for a company in a big building where he was employee number 427.
Remember that number.
Employee number 427's job was simple. He sat at his desk in room 427 and he pushed buttons on a keyboard. Orders came to him through a monitor on his desk, telling him what buttons to push, how long to push them, and in what order. This is what employee 427 did every day of every month of every year. And although others might have considered...
This guy's my spirit animal.
Stanley relished every moment that the orders came in, as though he had been made exactly for this job. And Stanley was happy.
Stanley was happy. I like it, Stanley.
And then one day, something very peculiar happened. Something that would forever change Stanley. Something he would never quite forget. He had been at his desk for nearly an hour when he realized that not one single order had arrived on the monitor for him to follow.
That's odd.
No one had showed up to give him instructions, call a meeting, or even say hi. Never in all his years at the company had this happened. This complete isolation. Something was very clearly wrong. Shocked, frozen solid, Stanley found himself unable to move for the longest time. But as he came to his wits and regained his senses, he got up from his desk and stepped out of his office.
Whoa, big move, Stanley. Oh, is this my turn? Do I can... Okay, so we can choose to leave the office or we can just go back to our seat here and you know, do stuff with the computer. Hold on, how we do this? Okay, I guess we gotta leave.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers.
I guess I just gotta go to the meeting room, right? There's like nothing really to do. But where is the meeting room? Okay.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Order 66. What is order 66? Okay. It says door on my left. I'm gonna go right.
This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
Yeah, maybe that's what I want to do. Can I go in there? Okay.
Yes, truly a room worth admiring. It had really been worth the detour after all, just to spend a few moments here in this immaculate, beautifully constructed room. Stanley simply stood here, drinking it all in.
Drink? No, I'm gonna keep moving. I'm not gonna listen to you.
But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
Maybe we should listen to him, you know? Maybe he knows what he's doing. Like, he sounds like a smart guy. But, like, that's a very dark room. And, you know what? Not listening to him has kept us alive. Not listening to him has kept us alive so far. So let's just keep not listening.
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago.
Excuse me? Okay. Do not jump from the cargo lift while it's in motion. Will cause death. Ah. I want to jump. I want to jump. I want to see if I can kill myself. Should I do it? No. Should I? I'm gonna do it.
But in his eagerness to prove that he is in control of the story and no one gets to tell him what to do, Stanley leapt from the platform and plunged to his death. Good job, Stanley. Everyone thinks you are very powerful.
All right, okay.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Fine, let's go.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
How to solve a dispute with a coworker. Let it ball up inside of you. Take it out passively, aggressively. Passive aggressive. What? Oh, wait. How was the slides? Who's playing the slides? All right. Do not alter without consulting whiteboard manager. There's a whiteboard manager? Why is there a whiteboard manager? Is that a real role? Can someone look up the salary of a whiteboard manager? Is that a real role? Can I, like, that sounds like an easy job to me. Like, do I walk around to different whiteboards and just like do stuff? Write things on the whiteboard and make millions of dollars? Whoa, are you serious right now? Do they actually, wait, just for managing the whiteboard?
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Okay. Nah. I'm in charge of my own destiny. Ooh.
But Stanley just couldn't do it. He considered the possibility of facing his boss. Admitting he had left his post during work hours, he might be fired for that. And in such a competitive economy, why had he taken that risk? All because he believed everyone had vanished? His boss would think he was crazy. And then something occurred to Stanley. Maybe, he thought to himself, maybe I am crazy. All of my co-workers blinking mysteriously out of existence in a single moment for no reason at all? None of it made any logical sense. And as Stanley pondered this, he began to make other strange observations.
Okay.
For example, why couldn't he see his feet when he looked down? Why did doors close automatically behind him wherever he went? And for that matter, these rooms were starting to look pretty familiar. Were they simply repeating? No, Stanley said to himself, this is all too strange. This can't be real. And at last, he came to the conclusion that had been on the tip of his tongue. He just hadn't found the words for it. I'm dreaming, he yelled. This is all a dream. Oh, what a relief Stanley felt to have finally found an answer.
Right.
An explanation.
I'm dreaming.
His co-workers weren't actually gone. He wasn't going to lose his job. He wasn't crazy after all. And he thought to himself, I suppose I'll wake up soon. I'll have to go back to my boring real-life job pushing buttons. I may as well enjoy this while I'm still lucid. So, he imagined himself flying and began to gently float above the ground. Then he imagined himself soaring through space on a magical starfield, and it too appeared. It was so much fun, and Stanley marveled that he had still not woken up. How was he remaining so lucid? And then perhaps the strangest question of them all entered Stanley's head. One he was amazed he hadn't asked himself sooner. Why is there a voice in my head dictating everything that I'm doing and thinking?
Okay.
Now the voice was describing itself.
Wait, what is going on?
I found it particularly strange. I'm dreaming about a voice describing me, thinking about how it's describing my thoughts, he thought. And while he thought it all very odd and wondered if this voice spoke to all people in their dreams, the truth was that, of course, this was not a dream.
I'm just gonna keep moving.
Was Stanley simply deceiving himself? Believing that if he's asleep, he doesn't have to take responsibility for himself? Stanley is as awake right now as he's ever been in his life. Now, hearing the voice speak these words was quite a shock to Stanley. After all, he knew for certain, beyond a doubt, that this was in fact a dream. Did the voice not see him float and make the magical stars just a moment ago? How else would the voice explain all that?
How'd I get back here?
This was a part of himself too. Surely, if he could just... He would prove it. He would prove that he was in control, that this was a dream. So he closed his eyes gently, and he invited himself to wake up. He felt the cool weight of the blanket on his skin, the press of the mattress on his back, the fresh air of a world outside this one. Let me wake up, he thought to himself. I'm through with this dream.
This is too crazy.
Let me go back to my job. Let me continue pushing the buttons. Please, it's all I want. I want my apartment, and my wife, and my job. All I want is my life exactly the way it's always been. My life is normal. I am normal.
This is like
Everything will be fine.
those 1970 confidence cassette tapes where you play in your car and it tells you, think positive thoughts. Nope, we're back. We're back. We haven't moved. It wasn't a dream.
Stanley began screaming. Please, someone, wake me up. My name is Stanley. I have a boss. I have an office. I am real. Please, just someone tell me I am real. I must be real. I must be. Can anyone hear my voice? Who am I? Who am I? And everything went black.
What is going on here?
This is the story of a woman named Mariella.
What?
Mariella woke up on a day like any other. She arose, got dressed, gathered her belongings, and walked to her place of work. But on this particular day, her walk was interrupted by the body of a man who had stumbled through town talking and screaming to himself, and then collapsed dead on the sidewalk. And although she would soon turn to go call for an ambulance, for just a few brief moments, she considered the strange man. He was obviously crazy. This much she knew. Everyone knows what crazy people look like. And in that moment, she thought to herself how lucky she was to be normal.
I think Stanley took his life.
I am in control of my mind. I know what
Oh my God.
and what isn't. It was comforting to think this, and in a certain way, seeing this man made her feel better. But then she remembered the
Mary, you are a messed up human being.
the very important people whose impressions of her would affect her career, and by extension, the rest of her life. She had no time for this, so it was only a moment that she stood there, staring down at the body. And then she turned and ran.
Okay, from now on, I'll be known as Mary, okay? Forget Stanley. Stanley took his life. I am now... Wait, am I Mary or Stanley? 427, wait.
Someone was following Stanley. He was sure of it. If he checked over his shoulder now, he would surely catch them. It was only a matter of time. When he came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
I feel like, will it repeat itself? If we go left, will it repeat itself? Or should we change the story? Because, like, I want to make $1 million. My goal for playing this game is to make $1 million. So should I, maybe I should go, I'm gonna go right.
This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. Wow, yes.
Nice.
This room. What a beautiful, but eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
Should we go back to the forklift? Yo, acid is a hell of a drug, guys. Don't do acid. Or edibles. Don't do edibles either. Edibles mess me up. Don't you guys do edibles. Let's go to the forklift.
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago.
Should we just... No.
Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time. There's someone you've been neglecting, Stanley. Someone you've forgotten about. Please, stop trying to make every decision by yourself. Now, I'm not asking for me, I'm asking for her.
I'm the ruler of my own destiny.
This is it, Stanley. Your chance to redeem yourself. To put your work aside. To let her back into your life.
Who?
She's been waiting.
Who's her? Oh, come on. Don't let me go in a dark room. Oh, mother...
That's her, Stanley. You need to be the one to do this. To reach out to her. If you can truly place your faith in another, then pick up the phone.
Oh my god. That actually scared me. What?
Stanley, is that you? Hold on, sweetie. Sorry to keep you waiting. I'm just pulling the bread out of the oven. All right. Okay, there we go. All right, now, I want you to come in and tell me all about your day.